Hello everyone, I hope you're good guys. Today new tutorial about snare roll, like this kind of stuff. So I've made a rack just especially for that. Like usually the rack will be available for free, link is in the description. So let me explain you quickly. So basically I'm playing on the keyboard and there is each note have a different kind of speed for the snare. So let me explain you what is inside. So you have first this, which is called MIDI roll. So basically it's 4 different chain with on each chain you have an arpeggiator and we set different rate. So here it's this speed, you have 16, 8 and 4. And basically what I've done, I've just with this function of the rack in Ableton, I decide to attribute just one note per chain. So like this I've got 4 notes from C to F and each note is controlling the speed of the roll. Alright, so C is controlling the 4, D the 8, E the 16 and F the 32. Alright, so that's it. If you play another note on the keyboard, it's not playing nothing, it's just these 4 notes who so trigger this arpeggiator who gonna go through velocity. So that's the first macro. Velocity basically if you have, it's just to control the intensity of your snare roll. You see you can make like nice fade in or fade out. Very useful, especially on your drop if you wanna go louder and louder in your drop, in your build up, sorry. And then we go to the snare. So to be available to control the snare like this, I had to do this little trick. So basically, usually in simpler, the like different notes are playing and so the pitch should change, but you've got this function scale here, which is I put on 0 and like you can read in the corner at 0% sample with no change in pitch at all. This is command for drum kit multi-sample. So here basically whatever the note I play on the keyboard, it's gonna play at the same pitch than the original sample. And I've put it shorter just to be on the same scale than with the arpeggiator, C, G, E, F. So like this, when I press one note, it's triggering the speed, which is triggering the snare, which is not changing the pitch of the snare. So that's done. You have the GK parameter. Alright, controlling the length. You see it's mapped to this 3 parameter. You have pitch, which this is the same if you've seen my previous video about the kick designer, you're familiar with that. Just to do a pitch modulation. Volume, that's just to control because sometimes you're gonna load sample. You can load your own sample and you're gonna load sample who have like different kind of volume, so it's always good to have this to control. Then the next one on the rack, it's noise. So that basically is controlled by this macro and it's just to add an extra noise to your sample. I just used the vocoder as a noise generator basically. So I'm gonna put a little bit and you're gonna understand. And of course when I'm putting the decay a little bit down, it's controlling the release, so you got less noise as well. So that's really nice, especially, on the end of your build up, when everything is very drawn into a lot of effect. adding a bit of noise and help a lot your build up to be very powerful. Then you have an EQ with basically a high pass filter. And low pass filter. This is kind of to do this classic kind of effect, sorry, and then reverb. All right. So basically, what I'm gonna do, I have this breakdown here. Oops, sorry if I don't. And it's from one of my demo from my sample pack Modern Techno. You can find the link in the description. And so because of the sample pack, there is no drum fill at all. It's just plain like this. So we need to add a little bit of drum fill, and snare roll will really help. So I'm just gonna record and play the note like this live. Alright, so you can get an idea of what you can get. Just gonna put this properly. And yeah, just be sure that this one is not going there, because otherwise they're gonna play both in the same time and you're gonna have a kind of very annoying phase effect, and you don't want that, believe me. All right, so let's solo it. Okay, even this one we can maybe even stop before. Okay, we'll see later. And then you can start to play with the automation. Velocity. All right. Same with the GK. Something very short at the beginning, and then the more it goes, the more. Right, you can as well, of course, make like more funny automation. Because here is a very short break, but if you have a long break, obviously you can play with the automation to add some variation and to don't have always the same boring snare roll. You can add some pitch. I put it. I'm not really usually a big fan of pitch, but some people like. I'm not gonna put it. And then same high pass filter. Yeah, I did activate it. I have this effect on the mixdown as well. I will come back later to it. It's one of my previous rack, which is helping, really useful for the build up. All right, so there is basically a little bit of high pass, but you can already hear it that this is the same. You know, you can go like this, and then after go down. We'll see. And yeah, and as well adding a little bit of noise, especially on the end when everything is gonna be drawn into the reverb. And the last parameter, very important, this one, reverb. Well, let's see. All right, let's see how it's sounding with the rest of the track. I need. Yeah, this one is too long. But yeah, then you can really do how you like. So yeah, this one. So yeah, obviously, nice things to do is you can play with the different speeds and create different kind of drum feel. Oh, I'm just gonna. Put. So you see, you can replace them. So yes, you can really play how you like. I've done this version, it's like automation version, and basically you can straight away automate, make automation of the rate straight away on your rack. So for example, here with this one you can basically play any note on the keyboard is gonna still play the same thing, and then you have the sync rate, and then here you can play and start with 1/4. And that's really cool if you wanna do like kind of automation like this. So yeah, it's exactly the same. Inside is exactly with the same macro and etc. It's just a different way to program and automate the things. So yeah, I've done kind of extended version. As you can see, I just duplicate exactly the same with the MIDI roll, duplicate the rate. So like this, you can add a clap, for example, on the upper part of your keyboard, and like this, you can have your snare and your clap roll on the same rack. I don't recommend because for mix purpose or everything, but you can still wanna do it. So yeah, if you have a launchpad or another controller, it can be good to map this note to your controller and then be able to switch from clap, snare, or even hi-hat very quickly. So very interesting for live purpose. So I hope you like it, guys. Do not hesitate to like and share the video, to comment if you like it or not. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon, guys. Bye. Thank you.